battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
It's my power.
The great battle of our time.
Welcome to Zorpazorp Gaming and welcome to the championship round of the Grand Tournament. You are joined here in the pre-game show and I'm joined by my two wonderful companions here, Tom Ward and Daniel Jones. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Now, you guys came third and fourth in the tournament and have wisely, maybe unwisely, elected to come and join me to do a bit of commentary and a bit of voice work as we watch out this amazing championship round unfold. Now, we've got two incredible competitors, Jacob and Ori, who have both gone undefeated because they drew when they finally paired against each other in round 6. And it's going to be a pretty epic match-off. Fiefdoms versus Moria and a big Balrog, a rematch of round 6. So obviously they're both pretty powerful lists to get this far undefeated and pretty powerful players as well. What do you think one of the strengths of Ori's list is that could really bring him home today, Dan?
I think the big thing is the courage buff. So he's, essentially, the whole army's fearless for him now.
Absolutely.
So I think that's going to definitely be a big boost for him. He's still a Balrog to kill.
Yes, true.
But it's small things like that, not having to worry about doing that charge to lock down the Balrog for a minute, for a round or so.
Yeah, it's so reliable. Yeah, I think the whole synergies in general just give the army a real lift.
Exactly. Actually, I think that's both lists, to be honest. They really work well off each other. So, and look, Emerhill's still a pretty beefy hero. It'd be interesting to see if he goes for the kill against the Balrog or tries to avoid. Which way.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you face a Balrog and you've got much experience having faced two in the last 2 rounds, there's always a choice to be made. So it'll certainly be interesting to see which way Ori chooses to handle him. But the Moria list is pretty powerful, Tommy. You reckon it's going to bring home the business?
We'll see how it goes. We've got high numbers, a very big hero, so it's really all about how he uses that, I think. Trying to get those heroic combats off, but the right heroic combats off, and where he goes will be the deciding one. I think that's the big point.
Yeah, I'm really keen to see at least one whip, because I haven't witnessed one in person yet. Some big sexy whip would be fantastic. Now, of course, the scenario we are playing is Fog of War, which has been randomly selected, and I don't think it could have been more perfect, really. It's really nicely balanced for these two armies. There's a lot of kind of victory conditions. Obviously, the classic, we're breaking, and the game will end on quartering, and then we've got a lot of secret business. Dan, do you want to take us through how the scenario works?
Yeah, so essentially, at the start of the game, they'll have to pick a hero to kill, a hero to keep alive, and they also have to choose a terrain piece in the opposition half. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tactical choices. We'll have a look at the board in a sec. It's pretty interesting. And, of course, all of this is done in secret and secretly noted down. So you're trying to play to understand your opponent's motives and on what they're going for. Do you think the objective game is going to be the big one, Tommy?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think we'll give a few guesses. We'll see how it goes. After a few rounds, I think we'll guess in secret what they're playing for.
Yeah, we'll do a bit of tennis-style commentary and a bit of quiet muttering and see how we think they're going.
That's what's going to be interesting, because they both have a couple of different heroes to choose from. So there's going to be... It's not going to be super obvious, I think, as to what they're going for.
Absolutely. They've both got 3 heroes in their list, and obviously the Balrog and Imrahil are the leader. So Ori's got his 2 Fiefdoms heroes and Groblog and a captain for Jacob. So different choices there, and of course different choices on the terrain as well. The terrain is beautifully evened out. We've got 2 central pieces that count as being in both halves, and then 4 pieces to choose from in each person's half on top of that. So I think it's all about that movement, guessing each other's anticipation. Maybe we'll see some fainting and then some last minute dashes to call the bluff and that sort of thing. Should be pretty exciting. All right, let's get the players in here and get everyone ready, and we're going to jump into this championship round. Thank you so much for joining me in the pre-game, guys, and we're going to jump into getting this championship round ready. Let's do it. Alright, so the players have secretly nominated all their objectives and they have informed me. We'll go through what those are in just a second, but the round is ready to begin. So, let's see the first priority roll. Jackson, hit that timer. The round has begun.
Good luck, man.
Good luck, Ori.
Round 2.
Here we go. 3. Whoa, a draw to begin. Here we go. Come on. What's with you two and draws? 3, it goes to Jacob. Alright, guys, good game. Enjoy.
Everybody's just heading forwards.
So the round has begun, boys, and we've got some pretty interesting data to have a look through. We'll get a few predictions from you guys as well and check in throughout the round. So let's talk about objectives. Now, the terrain pieces that they've chosen are pretty interesting. Ori has chosen the little tent in the center of the board that is quite large and slightly in Jacob half, not the center tent, and it's the one that's open, which means that his infantry are going to be able to get right inside and get lots of scoring points around it, which makes it very interesting. And Jacob, quite interestingly, has chosen the tent right next to that, which is the center tent. So they're going to be absolutely on top of each other in the center of the board. Absolutely crazy. Now, in terms of heroes, we've got Ori is trying to kill Groblog, and Jacob is trying to keep Groblog alive. So another lineup there, which is pretty interesting. And Ori is trying to keep Forlong alive, and Jacob is trying to kill Angbor. So we haven't quite lined up there, but some pretty interesting matchups. Tom, how do you think that's going to play sort of off the bat into the early rounds?
I think the objective one, the location is going to be the most interesting, because Ori can't just hide in there because he can get his models whipped out by the Balrog. So he's not just safe once he gets in there. For hero selection wise, I expected Groblog on both because it's kind of the middle tier of the 3 heroes.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Makes sense. I mean, that's a benefit for Ori, I guess. One guy's trying to defend it. But the Ori's defensive heroes is probably the interesting one. He's pretty much safe on that hero front because his hero that he's trying to protect is not being chased down as a priority. So he's probably got a bit of an advantage off the secret objectives that they don't know.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting matchup. Dan, how important do you think the objectives are going to be, particularly in the center of that board, but also with relation to game length? We know these players like to take their time. Do you think that the game length could play into where the objectives score?
Yeah, I think definitely. I've played Ori a few times now, and he's definitely one to maneuver a lot before he'll get in. So he won't get into combat until he's absolutely ready. Worries me a bit, I think. I think it's bad luck for him that both those terrain objectives are next to each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think him avoiding that Balrog was his best bet. And I think it will... Depends how the Balrog Jacob plays it. Because if he tries to feint with other objectives, Ori might be in luck. But I think it comes down to how quickly Ori realizes that one of his terrain pieces is right next to the other.
Yeah, that's such an important point. As soon as both players realize that, I think it could quite be in Jacob's favor because he can just swamp it with Gobos and with the Balrog.
I mean, if he clues on early enough that the terrains are right next to each other, I think if it was me, I'd give up on the terrain piece and just go for the leader kill and the break, because I think that's very achievable.
From Ori's perspective?
Yeah, from Ori's perspective, certainly.
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
It is certainly going to be a real game changer, I think, all of those lineups.
I think Ori will realize Jacob's objective first before Jacob will. I don't think Ori will play his objective to right near the end.
Yeah.
So he'll be staying away, and I think it will dawn on him very quickly that, oh shit,
time to let go.
I've actually got to either get in there or pull back. For hero-wise, I think Ori's got an advantage if he realizes he can't take the objective and plays it along. But then I think they'll play time. I think they'll play 2 hours.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll break or get to 25. It probably will break, but not 25, I think.
Yes, my call would definitely be, I don't think they're going to get corded. I think they'll get broken because that Balrog's going to kill stuff and Ori's really powerful with those fiefdom synergies, but they also take the time. So I don't think they'll get corded. All right, boys, thank you so much for your input so far. We'll come back and check in inside and have a look at what's going on. Let's go and see how the first turn's going and how the first sort of movements and strategies are starting to shape up, because the maneuvering is going to be hectic in this round. All right, let's go inside.
All right, there we go.
Priority?
Shooting.
Shooting, absolutely.
Alright, so...
You just switched it off, Jacko.
Oh, shit. Alright, so 2 into 2
let's check the range first.
So it's the big button up. You got a 24 initializer,
Yeah.
and it's the button.
Two into the spears at the back in the way there. Both hit.
Yep.
One hits to go in front, so sixes. Nothing. And the spear support. No. These two will shoot at the cave troll. Both hit. Nothing. And these two. I guess we'll just shoot at this thing with those two in the way. One hit. Away. Shield guy. Priority.
So while the players are getting into deployment, we're going to have a look at their army list and start getting this coverage underway. So Dan, do you want to take us through Ori's list for his fiefdoms?
Yep, sure. So first warband, he has the prince himself, Imrahil, with armored horse and lance. And running with that, he's got 8 knights of Dolamareth, again with the armored horse and lance. Warband 2 is led by Forlong the Fat with a horse. And he's running just 5 knights of Dolamareth on foot, 2 axemen, and 4 of the Black Root archers, and then 3 Dolamareth men-at-arms with the pikes.
Yeah, lovely. All right, Warband 3.
And last warband is Angbor the Fearless, and he's again running a fairly similar warband with 6 knights of Dolamareth on foot, 5 men-at-arms with the pikes, and another 4 of the Black Root Vale archers.
Cool, well straight away we can sort of see he's got that big kind of cavalry block with the prince, and then essentially 2 kind of, I guess, pretty versatile pike blocks. It's, you know, we've got a nice mix of all the kind of different fiefdoms, beautiful units in each one, bit of archery, bit of pike block, bit of axes. Do you think that's going to give him a fair bit of flexibility?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good list in terms of like he's kind of spread all of his warriors out a little bit rather than just putting all of his pikes into one band. He's kind of spread it all out, so each warband can kind of act in of itself.
Yeah.
So
Totally. I think we've seen a fair bit in terms of Ori's play over the kind of last 6 rounds that often, depends on the scenario of course, but a lot of the times those 2 bike blocks kind of big, you know, they converge into one epic sort of Dol Amroth half gun line, half pike block as it kind of shambles forward, and then the prince on the flanks all coming up through the centre. What do you think are going to be the big plays for Ori, Dan, with this kind of list moving into this scenario?
I mean, it's with this list and looking at we'll see the next list later on, but just making sure Imrahil is on the move and isn't getting bogged down. The knights are doing the work. They need to make sure that they get the charges off when they need to get the charges off, and then I guess using the 2 blocks of very varied troops to actually move around in a correct way to gain an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Imrahil's certainly the killing power, isn't it? He's that central column that can either run up the middle or come around from the sides. Ori's done some epic flanking stuff with Imrahil's warband over the last sort of 6 games, so we'll probably see a bit more of that, but of course that leads us into who Ori is facing. So Tom, do you want to run us through Jacob's list there? Make sure I can fit it all on one screen. There we go.
Yeah. So Jacob's list is from Moria, and it features the Balrog, so there's most of it done. There's most of the army. But then it does have a rather large goblin horde. So in Warband 1 we've got the Balrog with 8 Moria goblins with shield, 5 Moria goblins with bow, 5 Moria goblins with spear, so quite a lot of troops there. Then he's got Groblog the king, which is kind of his second main hero, the other hero that does a fair bit of work, and that warband has got a nice mix. It's got Moria goblins again, but it does have a cave troll with a hammer and a troll chain, so that's the second hitting power. A bat swarm, some prowlers, which he likes to use a lot. He loves to get his traps. He's got lots of models, so his prowlers are probably very key models. Then 4 Moria goblins with shields, 4 Moria goblins with spears again, and finally in the third warband he's got a goblin captain with shield, 2 Moria prowlers, 4 Moria goblins with shield, and 2 Moria goblins with spear.
Yeah, cool. Alright, so, I mean, still a reasonable amount of numbers considering the Balrog is in the list, which is certainly a big point sink, and also, I guess, a lot of versatility in this list too. We've got cave trolls and bat swarms and prowlers mixed in with gobbos in that Groblog warband, and then that third warband has a couple of prowlers in there too. So again, it's kind of that really sort of flexible horde. You guys have had the fortune of both playing Jacob and both losing to him, which is why you guys are sitting here instead of Jacob commenting on you on the top table. So what was your kind of experience with facing the Goblin Horde, Tom, and how Jacob played the Balrog?
Yeah, most people seem to have tried to avoid the Balrog, whereas I had some big heroes, so I just went, all right, we'll see if we can take him.
Yeah.
But in the end, that meant that his Balrog was neutralized, but he still has 41 models. There's 40 more goblins and monsters around that they eventually trapped and crushed my army, really. The cave troll and the big items I kind of looked after, but I think the prowlers, I think the list says he only has 4 of them, but I seem to feel like there was a lot more than 4 prowlers.
Felt like there was always a prowler in combat.
So, I think he uses his traps and his troops very well around the Balrog.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, they've kind of got pretty similar numbers in terms of facing off against Ori's list, but matched up against a Balrog, we've got all those beautiful Fiefdoms heroes. So it'll be interesting to see some big infantry blocks with some big heroes playing. It'll be, it's a really good match, actually. It's going to be exciting to see how it goes. So let's check in back with the players, and we'll see how the first couple of turns have unfolded, and we'll see how they go.
So let's do that. Now that's my move complete. It's my shooting, your shooting phase, sorry?
Yep. Rolling on. Probably. Space? Yeah, it's got a 30 shot into the 2 speed. They didn't move. Oh, yeah, they moved half. Sorry. 2 hits in the way. 1 hits the front guy. Take him off. And it's battery lock. Spearman. Nope. 2 shots. So it's just 2 of them that can shoot? Yeah, they move. These two who didn't move. So we got clear line of sight to shoot those 2. Yep. And sticking out, so I'll shoot a couple of those. 3s to hit. 1 hit. And I'll take the spin. And 1 last shot, remove half, you move not quite 6, but we just decided to let it shoot it if it's fine.
My shooting?
Yep. Why not?
The Balrog is going to fiery lash this closest Dolomite Knight. We'll take this one here. I've hit him.
Yep.
He takes a strength 7 hit. He's dead.
He did.
Priority. 3. Okay, so the Balrog is going to charge this guy. He's within 6. Yep. As he goes in, he does a fiery lash. He hits. And he kills him. So now instead of charging him,
well, he would have moved like however much, an inch away.
Yeah, so he'll go into this guy here, just like that.
So one of the big things in this match is definitely going to be formations and the positioning of those formations, especially because of the kind of compositions of the army that we've got with these different kind of multi-composite blocks of essentially infantry units and then some cav as well and big monsters too. Do you want to have a chat about how I guess the Moria side's early deployment has flowed into what Jacob's doing now?
Yeah. So pretty interesting actually. So the game I played with him, at least, it was always everything within that 12-inch bubble from the Balrog. You know, that's where all the power is. But it looks like he's spreading his 2 batches of goblins a little bit more this time. So it'd be interesting to see if that's just because of the terrain, how it worked out, or if he was kind of trying to bluff Ori early on and trying to get him to separate his forces as well. But I have a feeling that he'll probably bring them back together, because those gobbos without a Balrog around, they'll
they'll go down very, very quickly.
Yeah, totally. They certainly are, you know, they're a really great fighting unit centrally. But I guess, yeah, not just that bluff for terrain as well, but of course in each of those warbands there's a target potentially.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I guess Jacob's probably not really sure at this point which way Ori is leaning, and we can start to see Ori's kind of cav doing some interesting things across the back. So I guess maybe by he's pulling them apart, it helps kind of make Ori's decisions harder. Because he can't just move forward and know where his targets are. He might have to move on the left flank, but Ori's certainly doing some interesting things, Tom.
Yeah, it could also be maybe trying to get an indication where Imrahil goes as to what target Ori's going for as well.
Definitely.
He spreads his heroes out, and there's some other things. Maybe trying to gauge what the other player's playing. But when we look at Ori's formation, started off very much a big pike block with some cavalry behind it. As he's moved up, and you can sort of see the Balrog is moving maybe slightly towards the left in our view, but he's moving up troops around those formations, and all of a sudden his cavalry is just spread out. Very quickly. They're all in groups of 2 surrounding, so it looks like he can launch in a charge in the middle and around the sides. He's having to get past some big terrain, so you can see some cavalry having to sit and wait behind infantry, and some having to go all the way around, but we should be interesting to see where they end up.
Yeah, it's certainly a pretty strong base, I think, in terms of early movement from Ori's position. He's got a really nice spread of cav that are going to be pretty good, you know, quick response forces, depending on how what's shaping up to be a pretty central combat, I think. A big fight in the center of the board, but when these shield walls clash. And maybe that cav will give him some flanking power, like we've seen Ori do many times before. But I think the other key thing is, of course, we know that heroes are part of the name of the game in this scenario, and that 6-inch whip is lethal. He's definitely going to try and keep out of that range, I think, and maybe that's feeding into that flanking maneuver. But of course, flanking for terrain and all that stuff as well, because there's so many objectives to think about in this scenario.
There's a lot going on.
It's absolutely full on. Now, in terms of what we're looking at objective-wise, so this is Ori's tent, and this is Jacob's tent. They obviously don't know that at this point, so seeing how that kind of shapes up will be really interesting. And our heroes are this guy, what's his name? Forlong. So Jacob's targeting Angbor.
Forlong's mounted.
So Forlong's on horse, but Jacob's trying to grab Angbor, and they're both kind of hunting and protecting Groblog on Jacob's side of things as well, and Ori is trying to protect Forlong. So in terms of their early movements, I guess we can sort of see that Forlong's relatively safe at the moment. He's the only cav that's really staying with a kind of group of infantry up on that right flank from our view, and maybe that's giving it away a little bit to Jacob. Do you think he could work out that that's who Ori needs to protect?
Yeah, it could have been. I think at this point where there's lots of little groups all over the place, he probably couldn't read it. Definitely very tactical choices in who they've chosen to protect and attack.
All right. So I've moved, you moved, goes into your shooting. Yes. I have no shooting to do this turn. Yeah.
Alright, we've got a shot there. I'll shoot the spearman over here in the way of the bonus.
Yep. Hits
in the way.
Hits the bowman.
Take the bowman off. And then I have these two moved half. Shoot a couple of spearmen there within the way of those two.
Yep.
So they move half force. Both hit in the way. One hit the shield guy, nothing, and spear guy, nothing.
What's that? So it goes into combat?
Combat.
Well, you had priority?
Yes.
Did I have priority? No, I have priority, sorry.
Yes.
Because I have priority, I'll ask you, are you going to use any heroic actions?
Of course, strike with Angbor.
A strike with Angbor? Yep, so we'll just mark that off. And I'm going to call a heroic combat with the Balrog. Alright.
So, combat first.
So doing the Balrog.
I will... What's that? I will shield. Yeah, I'll shield.
I'll go 6. Alright. So that was fighting that guy there, correct? Now I'm going to take the Balrog off his base just so I can see if a hurl is going to be worth it. So the nail's in the middle. If I hurl this guy, he will be directly, he's going to hit him, which is going to mean that he's hitting that combat. Yep. So I'm going to be hurling. So the difference in our strengths is 9 plus D3. That's 3 more. So the difference in our strength was 6 plus 3. So he is going 9 inches directly back away. So he's going to hit those two, and he might get one of those ranges farther back there. We go to there.
Yeah, he'll hit them.
He'll stop the wall. Will he get both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see if he can hurl as well as he did last game. The Men-at-Arms is dead. The Knight of Dolam Roth, 5, their defense 6, so he's just knocked over. And that's also going to knock over Angborn.
Yeah. And the troll.
The troll strength 6. Was it going to hit this Man-at-Arms? No, don't believe so. So the 2 ranges, the first one is alive, the second one is dead. So he is dead. And
roll 2 strength 6 hits.
2 strength 6s. He's dead.
Yeah.
Huge from the Balrog. So the Balrog called a heroic combat, meaning he can move again. So he is just going to edge forwards into that ranger there because you've blocked him in. Alright, I have priority. I want to fight this single goblin fighting 3 opponents.
Yeah. My front guy will faint.
I'm going to shield. I've got a 6.
5. I don't think he's going to be...
He might be... If you go to the... So measure straight over like that. Looks like he is in. So the front guy's in. No. Not quite, so they just push back.
So 6s?
I shielded.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's supporting it.
Yep, so the next one has the spear support.
Yep. So I got 2 front guy fainting.
Yep. I've got a 5, you've got a 6, goes to you.
So fainting is the 1 ring dice.
Yep.
5.
So it kills the guy in front, that spear will still have to back up. And we'll take out that goblin.
Yep.
Alright, let's do the Balrog again.
Yep.
I've got a 3 high, you've got a 2 high.
I'll do it. Imrical banner reroll.
Alright, and let's take out that ranger. Gets him.
Yep.
I've already done a brutal power attack, and I've already done my move. Now we'll do the cave troll.
So strike goes to
Strike
9. So I've got Angmore and well, his heart is 4. So and down.
Yep. So Angborn is the
1
gold
ring dice.
dice. Yep. Cave troll. 6 broadsword, so it stays at a 6. Nothing I can do about that. So I'll just push back and you stand up. Alright.
That's that.
That is the turn.
Priority.
Let's do it.
2.
Goes to me. Are you going to call any heroic actions?
Yes. I'll call it with. Call it with Imrical.
Call it with Imrical. I'm going to let you have that one.
We're coming back in now, and you can see that the goblins are starting to kind of form up again, which is kind of what I thought. You just can't have these goblins separate, otherwise they'll, particularly with Ori's mounted knights coming around that right-hand side, it's too much of a danger. But yeah, you can see that little hit squad in the middle there, Balrog, Troll, and that Bat Swarm. That's going to kind of chew through anything. So yeah, Goblins definitely coming in and really picking where the fight's going to be, I think.
Yeah, you can certainly see that Jacob's keeping all of his big hitters, the hit squad, what's close to going to be his objective, but I guess he's quite lucky in his objective choice that it also kind of just looks like he's doing his normal tactics and charging up the centre, which is obviously why he's chosen that objective, because it means he can just put Balrog and Gobbos right in the middle and be right there to target it. It makes for quite interesting fog of war games when you've got objectives like this that are central and count as being in both halves, because it means that sometimes you get those big fog of war games where you're striking deep into the enemy's deployment, but we've got a really central game which suits these big kind of infantry block armies perfectly.
First Balrog.
Yep.
Card 4.
Fails.
It's got a There we go.
He passes. Looks pretty well within there. Oh, very healthy.
And I think you're right, reforming that horde of goblins from the two units. Jacob's basically shitting himself as he sees all like Imrahil and Forlong and those knights pushing on the right flank. It's certainly reforming the line, true Theoden style, to get those goblins back into line. But Ori's forces are looking pretty interesting as well, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, so you can see that there's already combat happening with probably the infantry block, so the less strong part of Ori's list. And all his cavalry are still maneuvering, so he hasn't got any of his big hitters involved in any of the combats yet. So he's definitely playing the maneuvering game, and there's got to be some tactics around that. But it'll be interesting to see when he chooses to engage, because when he does, that's the big make or break play, right?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think there's probably going to be a few Dol Amroth losses across the next couple of turns, because there's that Bat Swarm and the Cave Troll and the Balrog all just sitting there. But it's kind of shaping like Ori's choosing where and when to engage so that he doesn't have to deal with the Balrog in earnest. And if he does keep this kind of flanking up and move around to the back, the Balrog's going to end up kind of trapped away from Ori's hitting power against his own horde of goblins. So yeah, it looks like, as always, Ori's playing the long game and trying to put his hard hitters in powerful positions at the end of the turn. I don't know how long the Dol Amroth infantry block is going to hold up though. That's a pretty spicy combo, Bat Swarm. Ori has his hero in there, of course, so that's Forlong in there, or Angor.
Angor's in there on foot. Yeah. But that is also Jacob's objective, so it's not necessarily a good thing.
No,
they want to be.
He'll need to be careful. I think that's kind of an interesting play. I mean, perhaps Ori is thinking that Jacob's gone for Forlong, because Forlong is quite safe over on that right flank with some of the Dol Amroth knights and behind a bit of Dol Amroth infantry as well. So that might prove to be a costly mistake if Angbor goes down. He's got a few troops around him, but man, those monsters, they're killing machines.
Yeah. They can make very quick work, but it's really interesting seeing, because I think Jacob's kind of committed at this point. He's got his army where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Whereas a big section, and his most powerful section in the Dol Amroth Knights, can still kind of go anywhere at this point. So I think Jacob would be very cautious at the moment not to make any big power plays with the Balrog, because like you said, I think at this stage Ori could definitely use Jacob's own numbers against him and kind of block off that Balrog.
Yeah, it's the kind of concept of committing and when to commit is so important in SPG, and I think that Jacob's certainly committed with that central block, whereas I think Imrahil's position is really interesting at the moment. He's still back, he's still safe, but he's still central. And I think Ori's leaning towards pushing him up the right flank because he wants to get Imrahil into the goblins, right? He wants to get him into the back, move around, trap and kill everything. But he's also still in a position to go and put out a fire if Balrog lights one. So I think it'll be interesting to see where Imrahil goes. If Ori feels that everything's just going south in that center and he's going to be broken and maybe even corded before he can bring his guys around, Imrahil might get thrown in as a stoppage, but I feel like Ori wants him all the way up and around the back, and of course moving to secure his objective up that back section, and to try and hunt Groblog, which is the other thing. Whereabouts is Groblog? He was in this block
So yeah.
He'll be pretty close again to the Balrog for those heroic moves and whatnot.
Yeah, trying to keep him in nice and tight. So it's just that captain. So I mean, I feel like if I was Ori, it would probably be fairly obvious that Jacob's chosen Groblog to defend, because that Goblin captain is just out on a flank away from the Balrog.
Yeah.
It's very much an obvious bait, and he's probably going to take the bait and mince him anyway, just so that the Gobbos can go
Get
down.
rid of that, mate.
But I'd say that it's that Ori knows. But it'd be interesting to see how the guys work out the various terrain features and how they're judging their tactics around that.
Alright, so that's my move done, I believe. It goes back to your move.
So far we've seen that there's been half of Ori's shield wall engaged in that Balrog cave troll sort of mincing machine, but we're finally able to see now that the other half have sort of pushed up on that right flank and hit, and they're trying to sort of wrap around, just holding them off for another turn while Ori's cavalry can do the full proper flanking maneuver. We can see there's ones on effectively behind both corners of Jacob's army now. They're going to come around, and there should be a fairly big charge round soon.
Yeah, it's certainly really nice to see that kind of big. It's all about the curvature, isn't it, of that infantry line? It's really, you can see Ori's trying to shape up and trying to pincer Jacob's forces really well, and it also gives his cav space to get close and curve around. So yeah, interesting stuff. Good plays from the movement master that is Ori Smith. And Jacob needs to be careful here, I guess, Dan. Otherwise, he's going to find himself kind of trapped in a bubble.
Yeah. Well, looking at it, it's really interesting, because I think if the Balrog pushes too much now, he's at a real risk of flipping the battle lines. So the knights are going to be in behind, which, I mean, objective-wise is not what he wants. But this is really interesting to look at those knights coming around the flanks, actually, because it's going to be interesting to see what the Balrog does, because the Balrog's really committed now. He's in there, so he doesn't have much in the way of response for that cavalry charge, except for generic gobbos. So yeah, it'd be very interesting.
Get up.
Move half.
Over there. Jump first. Finally makes it. With a 2.
He's able to do it.
Yes.
Alright. Would you like to call any heroics?
I got one cheeky shot.
Oh, sorry. Yep, you're
This
shooting.
dude. And we'll shoot at the spear support then.
Yep, absolutely.
And 3s doesn't do it.
Alright. Would you like to call any heroics?
Let's call it strike with Angborn.
Strike with an Angborn again. So Angborn is out of might. Is that correct for you as well?
Yep.
Alright. I will call a heroic combat with the Balrog. So we'll do that one first.
Shield for days.
I've got a 6.
Yeah.
I have the Bat Swarm helping the Balrog. The Balrog and the Bat Swarm will just join together and kill him, and they are successful. So that's that man, Dolan Roth, dead. Next, the Balrog is going to charge this ranger. The Bat Swarm's just going to be safe today. And land back in this open space here. And now I want to do the Balrog's fight, because I have priority, I can decide.
Yeah. 2.
I've got a 6, so I'll win that. The Balrog's going to hurl him.
Yeah.
So difference in strength of 6 plus d3, that's 1, so you're going 7 inches. So directly away from me. 7 inches should be there, I believe.
I believe he'll just stop at the cave troll, because like he's hurled and he's basically overlapping the base.
So he will still pass through all the models.
No, he stops at monsters. Anything strength, whatever, stops there, and the strength, it takes a hit.
So it takes a hit, so I'm just going to have to...
Control strength 6 or higher.
Yeah. So it
So it's the
doesn't,
same thing as a barricade.
doesn't pass through.
Stops, doesn't pass through.
Pretty sure that's right.
So it's still okay. He still gets a combat. That's what I'm interested in. So the strength 3 from hitting the strength 3 hit on the cave troll does nothing. The strength 6 on the ranger will kill him. But the important thing here is that Angborn and that Knight of Dol Amroth are now on the ground.
Yep.
So let's now do the Cave Trolls combat. He's
so
fighting
Angbor's
Angborn.
strike.
So the Cave Troll has got a 6.
And I got a 9.
You've got a 6 as well, so you'll win that again. And they'll both stand up. Alright. Next combat that I'd like to do is... Let's do these two here. They're fighting 4 goblins.
Front guy fainting.
Yep. I've got a 6, you've got a 6, you win it on fight value.
Strike on each of the front guys, 1 ring dice being the fainting.
So 1 kill, do you want him or do you want him? Alright. And he pushes back. Let's do whatever's going on here. This looks like...
That's a 2-on-2 and that's a 2-on-2.
Yeah, so 2 2-on-2s. Let's do this one first.
Yep. So front guy fainting.
I've got a 5. You've got a 4.
Imri Obama.
No. Needing 6s to kill him? Nothing.
And
another 2-on-2.
Front guy fainting.
6.
Imri Obama. Nope.
Not enough. Need 6s to kill him. Not quite. Here we have a Prowler with a spear support fighting a man of Golem Wrath.
Yep. This support.
So the red dice will be the Prowler.
Yep.
Checking your
as
well.
Front guy fainting.
Yep. I've got a 6, goes down to a 5.
Binary roll.
Alright. So he's able to back up there. Snake eyes. Alright. Does he have the banner?
Yes. I believe so.
I think he had the banner last turn, so yeah, he will. So 2 goblins. Yep. 3 as well, goes to win fight value.
Okay. 6.
Alright. Last one, these two fighting that Knight of Golem Wrath. I'll stab with both of them.
Yep.
I've got a 2.
Alright. 1 ring dice on the guy on the left. Gandalf dice on the one on the right.
Yep.
Needing 4s with the lance bonus.
Kills
1.
Was that the guy on the left?
Yeah,
or
right with the 1 ring.
They did. You're absolutely correct. He's dead. Shouldn't have stabbed. Alright. Priority. Goes to you. I will be declaring the use of might. I'm going to call a heroic move with Groblog.
Yep. Call 1 with 4-1.
With 4-1, yep. I'll mark that off. So the roll off, you have priority, so you get to roll it. 1, 2, 3 goes to me. Goes to me. Alright, let's see who's within Groblog's 6 inches. Looks like we're going to have to lose this goblin at the end. Oh, no, looks like he's within. 60 minutes left. Alright. So Groblog is going to move first. You'll just jump up to here.
Shout moral support.
He's going to call with me, and his boys are going to move. Just want to clarify, would the Cave Troll be able to charge him without interfering with Angborn's control zone?
No.
So he's going to need to go in there. Charge Angborn with that Prowler, throw a throwing weapon. Throwing weapon hits.
5+.
Does not wound. And he will charge the Knight there as well. The Bat Swarm's going to just move back for this turn, so the Balrog can get Angborn. And the Bat Swarm's going to fall over again. Lastly, it's these models. So the Prowler runs across, the Captain stays central. Jump back to there, jump back to there. Alright, 1, 2, 3 left to go. And that looks like a very stable spot for Balrog, so he's getting on his base.
No more corpses. Well, plenty of corpses.
Plenty of corpses, just none under him.
Yeah, so I had 1 priority, so
You have priority.
I did call a heroic move with 4 long, but he's just not going to call with me.
Absolutely.
So he's just gonna go here and toot his own horn. He was charged.
So now, yeah, we're really starting to see the payoff of those mounted units coming around the flanks, and you can actually see Imrahil right at the back there, getting into the thick of it. It's interesting looking at Jacob. You can see the Balrogs fully committed in that whatever's left of that little pike block there. So I think it'd be I think what Jacob's probably going for is just trying to get the break, because I think being a goblin player, you probably go into a game knowing that you are going to break. So I think he wants to get the break as well, just to deny Ori VPs from that. But in the process of doing that, I'm not sure if that's going to kind of leave the Balrog too far away from where he wants to be. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think it's certainly, he's just got to make sure he knows that Ori's going to get those points.
Yeah.
So he's making sure he doesn't miss out on them. And I guess even though it does take him deep and potentially away from being able to deal with Imrahil, he probably reckons he might be able to get back over there, because with that heroic move, the Balrog can be pretty quick.
Yeah, and you know, if he gets priority, he can just part those goblins and get the Balrog right back in. So he's definitely got potential.
I think the risk will be if Ori's shield wall, which as we can see now has really started to curve around and trap those goblins in, if Angbor and the rest of that shield wall are going to get in the way for the Balrog and pin him, but at least the Balrog taking it deep, he's still going to be close to that central objective, which is just going to prove to be a really good objective choice for Jacob, I think. Tommy, what do you think about these kind of final formations as we're starting to frame up on this charging turn?
I mean, definitely having goblins in the way could be an issue for the Balrog, but as you guys have been saying, I think he's not too worried, because he can effectively get that 12 inches of move through a heroic combat, and he's trying to just stay on his objective. So I think currently Jacob's probably in a better position, but Ori has positioned it so that hopefully his charges and things will start to work out soon.
Yeah, I wonder if this left flank for us, right flank for the viewers, of the Dol Amroth Knights moving up around by the fire and in and around, is it starting to look like, you know, just part of that flanking maneuver, or is it starting to kind of give away some of Ori's objective? Because he's you know, pretty deep now. If I was Jacob, I'd certainly be thinking that potentially that tent or something in this back half is a scoring option. But you can see with Jacob's tactics, I think he's just sort of said, whatever that is, that objective, that terrain objective for Ori is probably out of my zone of control to be able to impact. So he's just going to focus. He's going to focus on the things he can score.
Well, yeah, and you look at, like, he's got his objective and his entire army there, so he's not being pushed off that. So I think that's a big strength at the moment for him.
Yeah, he's going to have you know, the points for killing hero, the points for securing the objective, and the points for getting the break. So that takes him to what, 7 or 6 or 7.
He has to make sure he keeps his own hero alive, I think, is his big play. So I'm not sure where he is.
Groblog at the moment is right in the middle of that protective bubble of the Balrog and the cave troll, and he's right where he needs to be. So maybe that's something that that Imrahil is trying to do eventually, is to strike and make a big deep thrust, leaving some knights to secure the objective behind and try and get Groblog down. Or maybe Ori's made that choice to just say, okay, I'm going to leave Groblog alone and score what I can, and make sure that he keeps Angbor alive, who at the moment, as always, is safe as houses up on Ori's right flank.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got 2 goblins to move. We go 5 up to here, and 5 inches over to there. That's all my movement done.
Yep.
So your shoot phase.
I got no one.
You've got nothing. I'm going to take a throwing weapon with this prowler, throw at that ranger.
Yep.
Actually, let's see. He is within range. We're going to try to get Imrahil's horse there. So hits on a 5, misses. Hail Mary. I think that's all that I have. So it's into combat. You have priority, so I'll declare mine first. Heroic combat with the Balrog.
Yep.
Not calling anything. Alright, so we'll do mine first.
Yep. So Angbor and Spaceport.
I've got a 6.
Can't beat that.
Alright, I think I want to rend Angbor to wound him, strike normally actually. Just gonna strike normally.
Doesn't matter.
Need 3s. That's 3 wounds.
He has 2, so
I believe he has 1 fate. 1 fate, 2 wounds.
Yep.
So we can scratch Angbor off the list. Alright. The Balrog can now move again. He doesn't have many options. He's just going to snag that guy next. And you have priority, so you determine the order in which fights are fought.
Let's just do the cave trolls.
Yep.
So you
There you have a cave troll.
He'll be trapped. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, I have the fight value. I've got a 4 high.
There's a chance.
There's a chance. You
6.
get it. And did you say that I was trapped in there?
Yeah, can't move a full inch back.
Yep,
of the
trapped by
Balrogs and the
my
goblins.
model.
Thanks.
So, are you happy for him just to stay there for a sec?
Oh well, he's trapped.
Oh,
You
sorry,
don't
sorry,
move
absolutely.
anymore.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna need 6s.
If I could, he'd put
Yeah.
him in that. So 6 to wound.
Come on, buddies.
That's 2. Ugh, that hurts.
Needed 4, could reroll. Anyway.
So the cave troll has 1 wound remaining.
Yep. He's on 2 wounds. Alright, one-on-one there with the Prowler.
Yep.
Who's he supporting?
So the spear will go with the Prowler. The Prowler is the red dice. I've got a 6, goes down to a 5. I've got a 6 to win it.
So they're 5s?
No. I'm going to be trapped there. The Prowler will be
yeah.
trapped.
Right.
Alright.
And I've got 2 on 1.
Finding the spear.
So my ranger dude will, Black Roach will faint with the 1 ring.
Yep.
Dice and yeah.
Yeah, well within, well within.
Impel banner. No.
No. So after the ranger needing a 5. No.
Let's just do the mounted knight.
So he's fighting 3.
Yep. 4.
4 as well goes to you on 5 value.
I'll strike the shield dude. Gets him.
He's died. He pushes to there.
We'll go one-on-one there.
Yep. I'll fight it. 6.
2. Ibrahim banner. 6.
Ouch.
Could have fight 2. 5s.
No. Alright, this is where it starts to hurt for me.
Okay, so
4 on 2, absolutely.
or had you meant to charge him?
No, you have priority. I moved first, so you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, so my 2 front guys will faint.
Yep.
1 ring dice.
Come on, goblins. You've got a 6, you've got a 6, goes to you on 5 value.
5 value. 5s. Yeah.
He just died. It's 10 goblins down.
And we got a 2 on 1.
Shielding.
Front guy fainting.
5.
4. Emerald banner. No. 2 on 1.
Yep, no shield on him. 6 goes to you. Kill me on 5.
5, yeah. Reroll 1 for fainting.
Alright.
Emerald.
Say his name properly. I've got a 2.
Yeah.
Super dead. Alright. So that's a turn.
Yeah. Priority.
Let's do it.
I believe that's all, yeah. 6.
I will be declaring the use of a heroic action. I'm going to call a move with my goblin captain.
Yeah. Go on with Imrahil.
Yep, so Imrahil has 1 left.
Mm-hmm.
So Groblog has 2, my captain has 1, Imrahil has 1, Forlong has 2.
Yep. I want priority.
Goes to me. Alright, so the captain needs to go first. He's just going to nudge around. I think everyone in my army is within 6 of him. Yep. So he's just going to stay relatively stationary. We'll have a single goblin charge Imrahil and another knight. The Prowler's going to charge that Knight of Dol Amroth, throw a throwing weapon. Hits. Does nothing. The Balrog's now going to charge that Knight of Dol Amroth, Fiery Lash. Hits. Kills. So that's him out. Nope, Cave Troll wasn't leaning on, that's good. And then he's going to push forwards into that Man-at-Arms. Cave Troll's just going to go back into the guys he was fighting. The Bat Swarm is going to fly over and engage the man who the Balrog's engaging. So these guys can go a long way. Gotta back up. 10 inches. Alright. So.
Oh, stay and play.
No. Fuck that, dude. Sorry, because Zorpazorp Gaming. Demonetized. Spear support. Alright. That's on my move.
Move, obviously, Imrahil's action calls that is cancelled. Big bloody mess.
So we have 38 minutes left. A lot needs to happen. So I definitely took a long time then. So I'll be more aware of that. I'll try to be moving quickly.
Yeah. That too. This guy. Yeah, that's fine. Alright.
So, any shooting from you?
No.
Alright. Let's take a throwing weapon. Nah, let's not take a throwing weapon. Actually, yep, he's gonna take a throwing weapon. He's in base contact with his spear, so we'll just go into the combat. He's hit. Me or you?
You.
It's me.
Yeah.
Still alive. Alright, that's on my shooting. You have priority, so I will declare heroic combat with the Balrog.
Ah, what a surprise.
Didn't
see it coming at all. Yeah, I'm not gonna call anything.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Just the one Man-at-Arms.
Go 5.
Imrahil should be in range.
No. Let's just kill this kid. Got him.
Yep.
I hope you're surprised.
The options.
Sorry, Knight of Dol Amroth. You're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I'll tell your wife and children.
We'll do the cave trough first.
We'll leave him like that, just in case he dies.
Set the bar for me.
5.
The chance.
So you got 3. I'm winning on fight.
Imrahil banner. Come on, get up. No.
No. So I killed them all on 3. So Man-at-Arms.
4s for the Man-at-Arms.
Burley.
Ah, yeah, of course.
And the Ranger. So the Ranger survives. But
The least armoured.
the least armored.
Do that, dude. Spearman
Yep.
on 2.
You'll stab.
Yep. Other guy will faint. One of them will faint.
I'll do my stab.
So fainting is the 1 ring dice. Yeah,
6.
makes sense.
Oh, thank you. Alright.
Alright, so we'll just go here. You've got 1 on my charging up.
1. I'm sorry, I'll do Groblog's Crown. Fails.
You gotta call that at the start.
Call out at the start. Alright.
You gotta remember your own rules. I'm not gonna remember them for you.
So the spear support. Just the spear, sorry. 6.
Alright, there we go.
What's your horse's defense? Is it armored?
5.
So I need 5s on the horse. Let's get the horse. No.
You.
I stabbed. Did I? I think I said I'd stab. I might not have.
1, 2, 3, you did. 4,
No,
5, 6.
I say I didn't. I don't. I remember saying.
I was like, I don't remember either. So let's put it to a dice roll.
1, 2, 3. I stabbed. I did not stab.
All right. He's got a spear, so you got 2 on my charging knife.
5
5
goes to you. I should have said stabbing, but it doesn't matter now.
All right. Okay. For the rest of the fight phase, are you stabbing with all the guys?
I'll call them individually.
All right.
I'll just try to remember it.
I'll try and remember it. Ask, do you want to stab? All right.
You
So
don't need
first
to.
guy needing 4s. No.
Hey, that's all right.
What are we doing? So
I wouldn't use a token yet. Oh, stick to those rules. There we go.
Alrighty.
Um,
Do that charging.
Yep. Sorry, that was a drop dice. 4 as well goes to you.
Even I forgot.
Gets it.
Yeah, he's dead.
Ooh, don't dip.
We'll go over here. Do you want to stab?
Yes.
Alright.
With the guy in front.
So one of my guys will faint.
Actually, I charged you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I won't stab.
So,
Fours.
oh, Emerald Banner.
Hey, goes to you on 5 value.
5s, 6, and 1 goes fainting.
Alright.
That is a 2 on 2.
That's not a spearman, just a 2 on 1.
Oh yeah.
So I'll shield.
Yep. Fight 2, fight 3.
30 minutes remaining, guys.
Yep. So one of the guys will faint.
I've got a 4.
Oh, Emerald Banner. 3.
So they're just back up.
Oh, sorry. No, it's just that. That's just a 2 on 1. I
Yep,
thought
so
no,
just
4
the
on
archer.
was on that
Yep.
one.
Not stabbing.
Front guy fainting.
6.
Emerald Banner.
Oh.
6. Yeah.
Nice.
5s. There's a 6.
Alright.
4 long and 2 dudes on 1 shield.
With a spear support this time.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, booming.
So that guy at the front's gonna stab.
Yeah, front guy fainting. Why am I fainting? 4 longs within range. Yep, got a 6.
And this is a very endangered goblin.
4 long. He's strength 5, so I'll be 4, so 3s with his war spear as a charge.
Yep, that'll do it.
He's gone. Yep. 2 on 1 there.
Shield.
Now I don't need to faint. 4 longs.
3.
1. Emerald Banner. 6. 5s. That's 6 will do it. 1 on 1 there.
6.
3. Emerald Banner.
Oh
Hey!
my god.
5s. Hey!
That's 3 combats in a row. You've rebanned to a 6.
Banners.
Emerald?
It's not just this
That
turn.
is the last one.
Yeah, so I got a. You charged me. Yeah.
I did.
So I got
Shield.
3 and 2 dudes.
3. Can I use your banner?
So he's a shield dude, so
Yeah.
5s all around. Yeah, I'm going in.
One more to break me.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13.
Still 8 off.
Alright. Where's
that is priority.
no, we've got the Balrog.
Oh yeah, of course.
You
No, you don't.
You didn't want to forget about
There's
that
no
one.
Balrog. Alright. Shield for days.
Red dice will be the Prowler. 4, 6.
Yeah.
Is it worth hurling him?
You can get 1 dude.
Probably not. We'll kill him. He's dead. Alright, priority?
Oh, strong.
Yeah. Sorry. We didn't fight the bat swarm.
Oh yes.
First time.
Defense 3.
Yep.
So 4s. No. Cool. Core move with Fallen. With its last
Alright.
point of mine.
With his last.
Oh no.
So he still has 1 remaining?
Yes.
Because he starts the game with 3. So I will call it with Groblog.
His last.
He has 1 remaining. starts the game with 3. So I have priority. I'll do the roll call.
1, 2, 3, evil. 4, 5, 6, good.
Goes to good.
Yeah, so something we were all just discussing is the nerves of Ori at the moment. Like looking at where those models are positioned at the moment, he's got, I think it's 4 knights, completely unengaged, within a charge, but just hanging at the back, and they haven't done anything all game.
Yeah, nerves of steel. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, 80 points at this point that have not. They've been moving around and there have been threats, but they have not engaged or done any damage that they could be doing at all, just for a later gameplay.
Yeah, it's nerves of steel. Hey, there'd be so much temptation where now 90 minutes, 95 minutes, whatever into the round. It's starting to get crunch time, and Ori's still biding his time, which is pretty incredible restraint. I think he knows he's going to need them alive, right? He's going to need them for scoring. He's going to need them for striking in those final couple of turns as combat, and trying to help pin things in. I would have chucked him in.
Yeah. And coming back to Jacob as well with that Balrog, like something he did really good in our game was he's always got that one big power move ready to go. Like I think that, and that's something that I didn't take into account with the Balrog, is that free heroic combat. You get one good turn with that, and that could change the game.
Yeah, it can rip the game right open.
Even if he gets a good lash off at the moment, like nothing. They're all really tight now, so nothing's safe. So I think, looking at it, it's still on a knife edge.
Yeah, it's interesting. We can still see that Ori has chucked 3 knights in and around onto Jacob's flank, but not Imrahil. He's still out of the range of that whip. He is not risking his big hard hitter going down in a couple of turns before the end of the round. He wants him there at the end. I think the banner is so crucial. Imrahil's banner effect for all of the fights that are happening. And even Angbor is now getting down into that kind of central area on the lower the lower section of the formation. So it's interesting stuff late game. It'll be really interesting to see how it shapes up.
Okay, well done.
So that will go to the shooting phase. Do you have anything to shoot? No. So I'm going to take this Prowler. He's going to throw into this combat. That's a 4. He moves, so it'll miss. And that's all. So I have priority. Are you going to be using any might?
No.
Nothing? Alright. Big surprise coming up. Heroic combat with the Balrog. Shock horror. So let's start with that one. He's got the cave troll helping him out. You've got a 2. The Balrog gets a 5. The cave troll gets a 6. Let's just kill him. He's very dead.
Rip.
So, the cave troll will go to there. There's 2 wounds taken on him, so 1 remaining. And the Balrog will go there.
You can finally put it back on.
There we go. Spent all this time painting him. May as well have him there. Now let's start. Let's do that cave troll again.
Yeah. I got the 1.
6. I'm gonna hurl. So strength is 3 plus 3, so 6 inches. So 3 ranges will be victims. Let's start with the strength 6 on the men-at-arms. That kills him. Ranger number 1, Ranger number 2, Ranger number 3.
Hey!
So these 3 are knocked over and he's knocked over.
These 3.
That's it. Alright. So yeah, this goblin in there will be knocked over as well. But we'll do this combat because he's going to win it, hopefully. Shielding.
Yeah.
5.
Give me no banner.
Hey, we can take out that prone marker. All right, let's do the Balrog fighting.
Yep. I'll shield.
5.
Emerald banner. Yeah.
Yeah, roll with him.
Saw the flash.
Let's kill him. Gets it.
Yep.
All right, let's do the Prowler with the spear support fighting the Ranger. The Prowler will be the red dice.
1 Emerald banner. Hey.
Goes to you.
Trapped. Because the spearman can't back away.
You're correct. I'm going to be trapped in there. You're up.
Sweet. 5.
And
Get him.
broken.
Woo. Sorry.
Alright, let's do the Bat Swarm.
Oh,
Fighting 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come
Alright,
on, Bat
so
Swarm.
the Gandalf has to be the knight that didn't charge.
Yep.
Okay. Set the bar for me.
It's a big 5 from a fight 1 Bat Swarm.
Alright.
He's in a lot of trouble right now.
Not prone, so the 1 ring dice at +1. So they're 2s. Wait, they're defense
no,
3.
threes.
4s for the Gandalf dice, 3s for the 1 ring.
Oofed.
Oh.
That's what 8
And
wounds
then
are
full on. No, just cause.
annihilated. Alright, let's do the Goblin Captain.
Yes.
Your shield.
Got 2. Front guy off. No, I don't need to turn the fallen right there.
6.
4. Emerald banner. Hey.
Again.
Fight.
Fight 3.
Oh, it doesn't matter because Imrahil will be within 3 inches, so it'll be fight
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
so that'll really clinch it. So needing 5s, rerolling 1s for fallen. Oh,
He's
double.
defense 6.
Yeah, sorry, 1 wound.
So 1 wound.
1 wound. Yeah, if you do wound him, it'll be 1 victory point, 3 victory points if he's dead, so you might want to find it.
Fate. Passes. Whew. But alive he is.
Where to next?
Let's do this guy in here. He's fighting.
Which one, sorry?
So him
Alright.
fighting 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 attacks.
Shielding.
Oh.
Goes to 1 fight value.
Ooh. 5 and a 6.
I think these Gandalf the White dice are special.
I might say they're magical.
Were they extra? Extra cost from Weta Workshop? Let's do Forlong.
Yep. So charging against 2.
Just the 1 because he's fighting him there.
Oh, right, yeah.
You got a 6 anyway.
Yep.
Oofed.
Alright.
Yep. Stabbing. Never mind.
Strength
Actually,
2.
Stab.
Hey!
That was not the right time to stab. I just got excited and wanted to use it. So let's do Imrahil.
Yep.
Let's stab this guy. Ugh. Huge
Hey!
one. Oh!
Win another 2!
Wow.
Alright, do your stabbing.
Do I die? No.
Yep.
I want to be better at killing
who was he on? Because
He
Imrahil
is-
had charged both of them.
He is on Imrahil as well.
Alright,
Then.
so roll another dice.
Oh, you have your banner.
Imrahil.
3. Do you want to use point of might?
No, I'll say point of might.
2 stabs
Take
at
it.
that. Oh, sorry. Horse.
Hey, throwing right up.
And Imrahil himself is fine.
Yeah. Right there.
Let's do this goblin that's in
on
a
your
little bit of
shield.
trouble. He's going to shield. He had a spear support, so I don't know why I shielded, but that's okay.
5. Oh, 6 is good.
This is gonna be a science experiment to get him out of here.
I'll see.
Elite. Absolutely elite.
Yeah,
Let's do this
fine.
Prowler fighting this knight who has a spear support.
Yep.
2-handing.
4.
Goes to you. Does not get him?
I assume he wasn't hit.
No. Only if I won was he piercing strike.
That's it.
Did you charge me? No, I have 2 guys there anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't in.
6.
3. Imrahil. No.
And 6s. No.
Yep.
Alright, that's everything.
Alrighty.
Yep.
1.
2.
Oh, better than a 1.
So I have priority. I'm going to start moving. Let's start with the very brave goblin. Doing very brave things. And charging some very not brave guys that are way better than him. This goblin... so this goblin will charge Imrahil.
Well, I don't know about that with
Of the
way after that last fight. I don't think so.
Balrog to charge this dude.
Yep.
Fiery Lash. Hits him. Kills him. Oh, 6 inches get me to him. If we're very generous with our 6 inches, I think I can get it, but I don't think we are. I think we'll need to charge there.
So we're getting pretty close to the end of the game, and those knights that were holding back, they're pretty much all engaged now, and we can see there's quite a horde of cavalry still left that have engaged now. So I think I'd be a bit worried if I was Jacob right now, all my goblins copying those charges, but he's still got a Balrog there, he's still got the cave troll there, and he's still on his objectives, so I don't think he's too worried at this point.
Yeah, he is still very close to his objective, and he's still got, even though this cav charge is bearing down on him, Groblog is still tucked up nice and safe behind a couple of goblins, but I feel like Ori's probably hoping to get Imrahil in through and slice Groblog, but it all depends on that Balrog cave troll fight, and Jacob's got him sort of paired together down the bottom there, Dan.
Yeah, he's still got his hit squad going strong. Just looking at it in terms of numbers now, I think the goblins have just got to play objectives. They don't. I think they're going to die very soon. Like Balrog's untouched, but he's going to get quartered in no time. So I think these next few moves are going to be where it's decided in terms of what I think the big one is still the Balrog, the power play with the Balrog. If he can get a good heroic combat somewhere, he can get that extra 12-inch move in total. But yeah, tight.
Charge that dude. He's going to throw a throwing weapon. Get him. It's a 3 to hit, so he's missed. This prowler will charge Forlong, and that guy throwing weapon.
No, because he's
control.
I mean, you can charge him first, but you were moving him first, so you won't be able to.
It's almost like you want to keep Forlong alive.
I guess the thing that could be worrying for Jacob is, of course, when you're relying on that Balrog power play to kind of do the hitting impact, but you've pretty much lost everything else, it doesn't leave you a lot to go and score the objectives. So I think something that could happen is that he's got all that threat happening on that flank, and that he can't throw the Balrog into the rest of the cav and the rest of the Dol Amroth lines, because if he does, then the Balrog's going to be out of position and off his objective. And potentially to go and either score his, but I would say Jacob's optimistic enough he can keep a couple for scoring his, but the Balrog's really the only thing that has a chance of getting over and contesting Ori's objective, which is sort of 12 inches away from the Balrog's current position, which I would say that I think Ori's given it away. He's left one knight not out of the fight, like he's put it between both tents, so it sort of looks like he's trying to contest Jacob's, but really I think I'd say Jacob knows now, and I'd say he might save the Balrog for that kind of charge and that kind of play, but that is going to reduce and take him out of the killing zone.
Just quickly as well, another big benefit for the goblins is courage isn't an issue.
Totally,
So
they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that'd be really nice for Jacob to know. However few goblins he has left, he knows he's not going to lose 1 to courage.
Yeah, is it a 12-inch bubble?
12-inch bubble, yeah.
That's massive.
So the rest of his force is covered.
Yeah, absolutely. Ori's still got 2 heroes there, so Imrahil's Standfast is that 12-inch bubble as well, and Imrahil's certainly not going anywhere, still on full will, so he'll be able to keep those guys in the fight as well. But yes, it's certainly looking like the numbers game is Dol Amroth at the moment, but there's a Balrog and a cave troll, so we'll wait and see.
Support there. Support Imrahil. Let's try and get some knights around here.
5 minutes, guys.
That's it.
Alright.
There's one more.
shooting. Do you have any shooting?
No.
Neither do I. So combat. I'll call a heroic combat with the Balrog.
Yep. Surprise. I'm not calling anything. Wait. No, I'm not.
Alright. Balrog first.
Yes.
5. You can win it.
I forgot to move it. Emerald banner. No.
Let's just kill him. Gets him. 6 inches get me not that many places, to be honest. Let's just get him there. Cool.
Alright.
I have priority.
Yep. Where's
Yep. Oh, I guess we forgot. Let's do Emerhill fighting this guy with this dude and this dude.
Yep.
Big shield. Nope.
5. Yep. You did.
No way. Emerhill killed the goblin.
Oh.
This one here.
Which one?
So he's going to shield fighting those two. Yeah, I charged them while they were prone.
They're still prone, by the
I
way.
want
so
shield in that case. Yeah.
Why do that? Yoink.
Just you. So they stand up.
Alright. Where to next?
This one here.
One. 3.
Shielding, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, Emerhill.
Wins it. Kill him 5.
4 lungs within 6.
Yeah, probably.
5.
Just double check that 6 inches. Yeah, well within.
Well within. Yeah. Definitely looked it.
3 minutes, boys. About 3, we can do it in.
Alright, where to next?
Spear Sport.
1-on-1?
Yep.
6. No. Okay, where to next?
Prowler. This one. So yeah, the Spear Sport. Red's Prowler. 5.
4. Emerhill. No.
Kill him on the horse dude. The horse dude.
Oh no, it's just the foot guys.
Never
He
mind,
was
not,
part of the combat
not the
with
horse dude in
Emerhill.
that case. Him fighting a bunch of dudes. -1 on this. I'm on a 5, goes down to a 4.
6.
Goes to you. Dead.
4.
Alright.
2.
Ouch.
I think we got
One
more.
there, yep, one spear. He's gonna just fight on one.
6.
I got a clock dice, doesn't matter.
He did.
End of turn.
End
Yep,
of turn.
so-
Alright, random game length.
You want priority? I want priority.
1 to 2, the game will end.
This dice always fails me.
And
3, the
Ooh,
game
continues.
continues. Let's push through this turn. We've got 2 minutes.
Alright.
When it hits 0, the phase
4,
we're in, that
2.
is the phase
I'll
we'll
use
finish.
Mike.
Grublow.
We're out of space.
I'll use Emerhill's last.
I'm gonna call it with the captain.
Okay. Emerhill's last.
Yep. So you have priority, so you do the roll off.
I want one.
You want it. Alright, goes to you.
Where is the captain? Oh, over there.
Just in there.
So the game is going into another turn. There's just under 2 minutes left on the clock, guys. What do you think the big play is this in this final little period for each player, Dan?
Balrog.
Balrog?
Yeah. It doesn't look like there's many goblins left at all now, but the Balrog is actually really well positioned to do a last turn dash to that objective.
Yep, try and cap both. And Tom?
Yeah, Ori's move has got to be to capture the objectives. Obviously, like that's the big play in your last round. But the other thing is to block the Balrog or any other thing, because it can do a heroic combat. So you need to have multiple things to stop it from getting.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's got to get 2 of those knights up to create a block, and then a secondary block for the heroic combat, and keep that Balrog off scoring terrain objectives, and make sure he holds his objective out. I think that'll decide whether it's a win or a loss. All right, so let's have a look and see how they go.
No. He's just he wasn't there, so he'll have to forego his moves.
20 seconds. Alright boys, that's time, so the game will end at the end of this move phase.
Alright. Okay. Oh, still a few guesses.
Still a few, sorry.
No stress, no stress.
He wasn't in. He was, but he'll have to just charge him. Just go around there. And I think that was it. So.
Alright. Cave Troll's courage test.
Does the Balrog have a 12-inch stand size?
He's a hero of legend. 6 inches.
I'm just thinking of, it's just the Goblin Mastery I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's...
Is he within 6 there? Because I need to move the Balrog anyway.
It doesn't matter, you take your courage test, you move him within 6 inches, I guess.
Well, no, I'm going to move the Balrog still. So it's where I end my movement from my stand fast, right?
Yep. So it's sort of like, do you attack things, or do you want to...
Courage 3 is above a 50% chance of success. So he's going to charge him. He's going to run around to here and throw a throwing weapon at him. Throw a fiery lash. Sorry, so I'll get all the way to there because I don't want you in base contact with me. So
you just stop an inch away and then do your throwing weapon.
Yeah,
if
so
you fail, then you go into base contact.
I'll go there, so I'm in base contact with his tent. Fiery lash. Misses. Now the cave troll's courage 3. Need to pass it. Gets it.
Yeah.
He'll jump there. He'll jump there. And that's game.
That's game. Move phase over.
Yes.
All right. Let's calculate VPs.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, we're not ending the turn. It's just phase.
It's just the phase.
Cool.
That's correct.
So I wanted to kill Angborn.
Yeah, we killed him.
So
Wanted to
that's
kill Gravatt. Couldn't get to him. Although that turn might have pinched it.
So that goes me and.
All right. So you successfully killed your target hero. So that's 3
So
VPs.
3 for me.
And Ori failed. So that's 3 VPs. Ori, who did you want to keep alive?
Forlorn.
And is he unwounded? He's unwounded?
Yes.
Yep, so that's 3 for you. And who were you keeping alive?
I had Groblog. So that puts me up to 6 overall.
Yes,
so
he was
6
unwounded as well. Alright, let's do terrain pieces. Boys, would you like to reveal your terrain pieces?
Yoink. And I'm guessing.
Bang!
Yeah.
This 10. I tried to fake you out.
Yeah, I figured it's
So that's 1 each.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 to Ori, and yes, you've both scored your terrain piece. Let's check the points cost.
18, 19, I'm unbroken.
No, they get 1 point each.
Yes.
They get 1 point each.
So.
Because they both have enemy models on each other's tent.
Yeah.
So I'm on
yeah, mine was
7 and you're on 4.
And then breaking.
It's a draw.
Yeah!
Oh my god!
Oh man.
What the
Eternal
hell?
draws.
Jesus.
That was planned. That was planned.
Okay, so this is mental. Okay, so it's going to go down to tie-breaking criteria.
How do you do a tiebreaker?
The first criteria is total VP scored in the tournament.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh!
It's going to go to Ori. Oh my god, that's absolutely heartbreaking. Unfortunately, we can't cut the statue in half. Otherwise, I'd say that you guys can share him. But you do both get a pretty gorgeous book. So I hope that assuages the wound.
I have played 3 tournaments with my goblins.
And you've been drawn.
I've been second place 3 times with my goblins.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Fantastic.
Great game, guys. Fantastic game. Let's give him a round of applause, guys. That was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I cannot believe you.
I wouldn't have minded losing because I just want one of the books.
You
this is just a terror.
You are both undefeated.
You both have gone through the whole tournament undefeated.
This is the second tournament with my goblins that I've been undefeated and still come second.
Oh, goodness me. All right, let's move into our prize handout and we can celebrate our grand champion and our runner-up.
Wow, what a game, guys. That was phenomenal and incredible runs for both of you in this tournament, both undefeated with a draw in the championship round and Ori getting it on a technicality because of your stellar VP score, that incredible run on the first day, certainly. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Dol Amroth for Gondor. What won it for you, Ori? Apart from VPs. Okay. What drew it for you, Ori? What was your highlight?
I guess just getting the flank around the rear and just slowly grind your goblins down. That's about it. The Balrog was just tearing me a new one, and I couldn't do much about it with my army, but I had no problem with the rest of it.
Yeah, I think that the formation, the big circle around, crushing in and getting the break, obviously, that's what leveled the score with Jacob's epic move in the late game to grab both terrain pieces and stuff. That was certainly a crucial move, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. Hands off to Ori. Got to give it to him. Yeah, the Balrog can kill 2 or 3 a turn, but the Dol Amroth can kill 5 or 6.
Yeah. It's a powerful, powerful army with beautiful synergies. Well done, guys. We've got some incredible little things to hand out here. Let's start with our runner-up. You receive 1 copy of Middle-earth from Script to Screen signed by Dan Henner. Well done, buddy. At least that's only 1 heavy object to fly all the way back to Victoria with. So representing Victoria, well done. You're an absolute champ, man. And we also have 1 for Ori, our grand champion, as well as our wonderful statue from our incredible sponsors at Weta Workshop. So you only have to take that all the way back to Toowoomba, so that's not so bad. Congratulations, guys. Let's see a big handshake.
Well played, man.
Well done. Fantastic game. And that's it from us here at Arda Unleashed in the Grand Championship. This has been an absolutely fantastic tournament with a lot of incredible people playing incredible games, an absolutely awesome environment. You guys have enjoyed yourselves overall?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. And we will see you all next year when we are back for Arda Unleashed. Thanks so much for watching. All right, so what a game. A draw again, and Ori taking the tournament on VPs. Absolutely epic kind of end, I think, to both their journeys as players, both ending undefeated, and a pretty spectacular way to end the first Arda Unleashed Grand Championship. But of course, there's a lot to kind of break down and chat about. So that final turn was huge. We had some big power plays with the Balrog, and a lot of stuff happening in that final 2 minutes, even though not a lot moved. So what was your big play late game for Jacob, Dan?
Yeah, like I was talking about just before, is that Balrog, that clear path right to that final objective.
It really, it secured the tie, didn't it?
Yeah, that was it. And I think it looks like Jacob had just enough models to kind of tie up all of the other loose ends in terms of Ori's other models. But yeah, man, that final move from the Balrog's what did it.
Yeah,
got him right on the objective.
Such a powerful change to that profile. Obviously, in last edition, the Balrog was always a huge killing point sink with no movability, and I think it's been incredible for that profile. And I guess the great way to tell is whether or not changes are effective or not is whether you see them in games, whether you see them in the meta. And we had 3 Balrogs at the tournament, and they placed pretty evenly. We had 1 in second place, 1 in last. Sorry, Jeremy, and 1 like kind of sitting in that upper mid section. So nice to see the Balrogs doing well. Now, what about Ori, Tom?
Yeah, so we've pretty much seen him hold out, play a very well executed plan with causing himself to lose some losses to wrap around and play it, and it just hurt him, making sure he was trying to make sure he had the objective with multiple models on it, and he really just had to pull some out to block the Balrog. Maybe one for the actual combat, 1 for the heroic combat, and he's got 3 there, so he'd still have 1 on the objective. So probably hurts him a little bit, but I think he's played exceptionally well all game, so I don't think...
Beautiful plan, yeah. Well executed until the final moment, and just not being able to see that Balrog move, probably costing Ori the win, because, we were sort of looking at it 4 or 5 minutes ago and thinking it was all banners of the White Swan.
Yeah.
It was a pretty powerful position, Dan.
Really interesting, though, just looking at it from Ori's perspective. Even that last turn, you don't know which tent Jacob's going for, because when you look at it, he's actually got a knight down there and up there as well, so it could have been either or. I think at that point he probably had just run out. He didn't do any blocking, but even so, it could have still been a tough call. Really, really tough
and it's
call.
It's been what, 7 games in 2 days.
Totally.
Always running it like 2 hours long. So.
Yeah, I think fatigue is real. It's a massive factor. 2-day tournament, and Ori's games always go to time, being the huge tactician that he is. So, you know, at the end of the second day of play in a big high stakes match, just deciding, okay, I'm going to make sure this is scored with 3 players and not, you know, lifting your eye line up an extra 12 inches to see that other move on the other side of the table. I think it's totally forgivable. But yeah, well done to both players. Some pretty incredible tactics overall. Who do you think your MVP was, guys, for each side? Dan?
Look, I mean, for me, it's got to be the Balrog for doing that last move clinch to get that draw, and it's just such a big model in the game now. Like the new profile he's been given is really, really interesting. He's got a lot of different working parts to him.
Totally.
But the synergy with just making all of those goblins pass the courage test.
Yeah, I think people underestimate that. It's so powerful.
18 inches as well. No, sorry, 12 inches.
Yeah, that 24 bubbles side to side. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's full on.
But yeah, it looks like Ori was avoiding the Balrog the entire game, which is again testament to what that Balrog can do.
Yeah.
It's forever a threat,
and it earned him the break points as well. It chewed that
yeah. So I think it was the main reason why he broke the Dolamarith and obviously got that objective at the end. So
yeah,
Balrog for the days.
MVP for you, Tommy?
I think it's probably be just the infantry blocks. I think the way Ori used them to draw the Balrog out and then swing them around. Obviously the Swan Knights probably did a lot of the damage when they came in at the end, but I don't think they could have done their functionality without the infantry just holding ground for so many turns.
Yeah, the hammer's important, but you know the anvil needs to be there for it to land on. So yeah, certainly a really well done play. Lovely work, guys. Thank you so much for doing a bit of commentary for us here on the SBG show with DJ and Wardy. It was lovely to have you guys here. Hopefully you finish 3rd and 4th next year as well, so we can have you back and you're not playing in the championship round.
Fingers crossed.
But we will see. All right, well done. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Well, I don't know how many of you guys are still here after 90 minutes of some of the most intense battle report action I've ever had to edit, but thank you for hanging around right till the end. That was certainly an epic match to line up for our championship round here at Arda Unleashed. If you guys haven't seen all the other Arda Unleashed content, I'll link that down in the description so you can check out how the first 2 days of the grand tournament unfolded, but it was a really, really spectacular final. I think you guys will agree. We certainly tried a lot of new stuff with this battle report. It was a pretty special occasion, so I really tried to make it a pretty special edit. So if you guys liked any of that, let me know down in the comment section below and I'll try and work it into some of our other content. If you guys are new around here, make sure you check out the rest of the channel. We've got heaps of Middle-earth strategy battle game content, battle reports, terrain, all sorts of goodies. So head on over into all our other videos and subscribe so you can see all our stuff as it pops up. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. You'll see us all again this time next year for more Arda Unleashed, and we'll see you all again real soon for more SBG Gaming. Cheers, guys.